Hey, you guys, I'm coming to you from my backyard today, and I'm doing that for a reason, because this is my home. And this is a direct connection to what we're going to talk about today, which is the drones in New Jersey from Iran. We're allowing that now?
First, guys, go check out my friends over at Gideon Optics. These guys make some incredible optics. They have the brand new Granite MOS competition red dot sight that's out right now. You can get this thing for $249, regularly $319. It's got the largest MOA reticle inside the largest lens that they have available, engineered from feedback received from all the competitive shooters over the years that they've spoken to. This thing is tough, aircraft grade aluminum construction. And the battery change is extremely quick. This thing is nice. It's something that you probably want to use. Don't be fooled by the competition name on it, because this is for everybody. It's just that it's going to give really good response if you're in competition as well. So check them out. Gideon Optics. Use my code FTATF, again FTATF, and receive a nice little discount.
So you guys have probably been hearing for the last at least 2 or 3 weeks. I think I first heard about this on the Andrew Wilkow show on Sirius XM. But about the drones that have been flying more specifically over New Jersey, but also seen some, I want to say Delaware might have had some, and New York as well. But boy, they really seem concentrated in that New Jersey area. Now, people have, I mean, we're talking about 40 to 50 sightings a day, an evening. And these drones are said to be as big as a dining room table or an SUV. I mean, I don't know who's saying what things are as big as what things, but that's the accusation right now and the report so far, that they are that big. In fact, as big as a SUV flying around. Well, of course, Department of Justice denied everything from the very beginning. Oh, we don't know anything about it. This is the Department of Justice that doesn't know anything. They're involved in intelligence. Department of Defense denies knowing anything. Wait a minute. New Jersey is on our coast, which is technically a border, if you want to look at it that way. And you have no idea what's flying off the coast. Of course, whenever the Department of Defense doesn't know what it is, you automatically think it must be the Department of Defense, right? Because they're going to lie about it. Let's see, Pete Buttigieg's little group, same thing. State of New Jersey, same thing. Nobody knows anything. Everybody's clueless. Mayorkas, no idea. Department of Homeland Security, we have no idea what that is. Well, wait a minute. So if I can't call Department of Defense or Homeland Security about a defense issue or a Homeland Security issue, who do I call? Well, apparently it broke today from a congressman, and this report blew my mind.
Have objects in the sky that are the size of an SUV over any city, over any state. It's an invasion of our airspace. In focus now, Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, member of the House Judiciary Committee, on the Hill right now. How do you address this at this point?
Well, here's the real deal, Harris. You know, I'm also on the Transportation Committee, on the Aviation Subcommittee, and I've gotten to know people. And from very high sources, very qualified sources, very responsible sources, I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, you know, we know there was a probability it could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government because they would have let us know. It could have been some really glorified hobbyist or hobbyists that were doing something unbelievable. They don't have the technology. But let's pretend that's possible. The third possibility was somebody, an adversarial country, doing this. Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward. The sources I have are good. They can't reveal who they are because they are speaking to me in confidentiality. These drones should be shot down. Whether it was some crazy hobbyist that we can't imagine, or whether it is Iran, and I think it very possibly could be, they should be shot down. We are not getting the full deal, and the military is on alert with this.
Look, you've given us some pretty dire information just here, and I want to make sure that our viewers are digesting this. Iran has the capability to pull up along our eastern seaboard and launch drones the size of an SUV into the skies of several states, particularly New Jersey, where we know the incoming president has a large home, also in the same county or nearby where some of these drones in New Jersey have been seen. That capability exists. It's possible some of those drones are here. So I have two questions. How are they fueling them? They have to land somewhere. Drones don't fly forever. Why don't they close down the airspace? Yes, it's inconvenient. Yes, it's the holidays. Shut it down. But if you start shooting things and you don't know how they're fueled, that's going to be mass explosions. This isn't like one spy balloon. Congressman, this is serious.
We've got to bring them down, and we've got to find a way to bring them down. I don't know exactly where they're landing. Obviously, I have some information. And again, this isn't just Jeff Van Drew. Oh, let's get on Harris Faulkner's show and say something outrageous. I'm telling you the straight deal from very high positioned individuals who are telling me this. And the bottom line is they're launching them. They are across the country. We don't even have anything like this.
No.
Our government and also certainly our hobbyists don't. So think about it. Not only do I have the information, but it's also common sense. We've got to get them down. We've got to determine how they function, what they do, make sure that we can get them, and you're right, in a safe way. When I say shoot them down, get them down any way that you can, but right now they're probably extracting information. This is a clear and present danger to the United States and to our president-elect, and it's a serious business.
Well, and if one of them happens to fall and they're fueled, that explosion could kill people.
Guys, do you even remotely understand what's happening here? Now, immediately the Pentagon and everybody else involved has denied that this has an Iranian connection.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
Now, when they say mothership, man, I have to believe this isn't like the mothership that you saw in Battle of Los Angeles, where the little pods or the little drones pop off the bottom and then go attack people. I don't think that's what they mean when they say mothership. It might really mean an actual ship, like not a spaceship, but a ship floating in the water that's launching these things from Iran right off our coast. Now, that just brings up even more questions. I understand that we might want to avoid any kind of knowledge. I'm talking about the federal government lying to the American people about drones flying, but a ship? Okay, we've got the Coast Guard and the Navy. You mean to tell me you don't know what's just off our coast and that's launching something flying in the air that's going over neighborhoods, potentially over military bases, and you don't know what that is? Our own military, Coast Guard, Department of Defense, Department of Justice. No one knows what this is. So now the report comes out, and this was pretty striking to me. Look, this is the way I look at this, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. If a politician comes out with something like this and is emphatic, like this man was, that this is what this is, and he is doing that before the military, the White House, anybody in that whole circle, if he's coming out and saying without a doubt this is what it is, before those folks have put a statement out, he's putting his entire career in jeopardy. So personally, I believe the guy. There's no way he would step out of line and talk about these things as emphatically as he did if he didn't know that the source was a very remarkably reliable source. I believe this man. I believe this man is worried. I mean, if what he's reporting is true, we all should be worried. You guys have seen the videos from the Ukraine-Russia war, right? We've been watching these folks at war in Ukraine and Russia, and they have revolutionized, and I mean that in a very interesting way, because it's not pretty to watch what's happening, but they have revolutionized the use of drone technology in warfare. I mean, they're flying with drones that are meant to explode on impact, flying them into tanks, flying them into people, They're hovering over people, dropping bombs and other explosives on them. It has completely revolutionized, and frighteningly so, the use of drones as, instead of just being a surveillance type tool, now they're more of an actual weapon, which is crazy. Now, you totally get it now that you see it being used, you're like, well, I get that. Why would our government not want to, one, know what is off our coast, what is hovering over our neighborhoods, but two, why wouldn't they tell us? Isn't one of the main reasons why you come out with a statement is to put people's minds at ease? You mean to tell me after this many weeks of these drones flying over neighborhoods in New Jersey, we still haven't gotten to a point where we can put any kind of a statement out other than saying, we don't know what it is, and put some minds at ease? That's why it tells me it's Iran. Now, remember the Chinese balloon that went from coast to coast, and we knew it was a Chinese balloon. Oh, we don't know what it's doing. Well, it's gathering data, dummy. We let it go all the way to the East Coast before we shot it down. And then we celebrated, I'm talking about the Biden administration, celebrated, we shot a Chinese balloon down, floated across the country for a week. Then you shot it down after it got everything that it needed. It was collecting data in real time. What do you think these Iranian drones are doing? Do you think they're trying to see what kind of shingles we're using in our homes? How do they get 30 years out of a shingle? They are surveilling everything, just like the Chinese balloon did. And our government is letting them do it. Whose side is the current administration on? You would think, as crappy as the Biden administration's record is, that they would look for one final thing to try to wipe away all the dirt that they've got, the black eye that they have on such a crappy 4 years. And this would have been the way for them to do it. This would have been the way for them to take out these drones fast, quick, and be able to report it to the American people. I know you didn't know what this was. We decided and we determined that it was Iranian drones coming from a mothership. We shot them all down and we sunk the ship. I mean, honestly, I would have looked at that like, well, you should have done that with the Chinese balloon, but at least you did it this time. Now it's the same old thing all over again. The American people should be very worried about this. These drones currently have lights on them. Why they do, I don't know. But I think it's mainly to make the American people think that it's possible that it's hobbyists and people locally within the United States that are flying these drones. Oh, there's nothing to see here because look, they're complying with all of the codes that the FAA has for lighting on a drone. I think that's why why else? They certainly aren't trying to comply. They haven't gotten permission to have drones flying over American territory anyway. Why would they care about compliance? I think that's to throw people off into thinking that they're legit. But the lighting is all crazy on these drones. So it's not totally compliant if you want to look at it that way. But these things are huge. They could certainly have a payload. Like they said in the interview, if you shoot them down, we don't know what they're powered with. I mean, I'm just being honest here, but we certainly don't know if they're carrying a payload. That might be what they want us to do, is to shoot them down over neighborhoods so they fall and blow up. I'm just supposing here, but more importantly, I don't think they're here necessarily right now to attack us. You know what they've done? They've determined how easy it is to fly drones over American cities, neighborhoods, and completely bypass the DOD, completely bypass the Department of Homeland Security. The whole federal government is playing stupid. Granted, the federal government knows what this is. I mean, let's not be coy here. They say they don't know what it is because they don't want to alarm the American people because we're too stupid and naive to be able to handle that kind of truth. So they're protecting us from the truth so we don't go crazy, right? But they know what this is. They know what these drones are. They know where they're from. But they're coming out now saying that they don't know and that they're trying to debunk this congressman's statement that they're Iranian. Why would you do that? They have to know that this man came out because he fears the fact that if we don't identify and handle and deal with these drones soon, we're going to have a very large problem on our hands. But what we've done is we have educated the Iranians and whoever else this is, but I do believe it's the Iranians. And we've shown them that our reaction time sucks. And that if you decide to come over here with drones with payloads, it's very possible you can inflict tons of damage up and down our coastlines before we even bat an eye and react in any kind of way. This is a horrible precedent that our government has set, local and federal government. The local governments shouldn't be tolerating this either, right? I know a lot of local governments out there that would not have tolerated this. State and city, county, municipalities that would not have tolerated this, that would have demanded something happen, demanded we shoot them down, demanded we close the airways, demanded we make everything off limits to anything flying until we identify that. Look, let me tell you something. Looking at this supposed guy from United Healthcare that got shot, his supposed hitman, if they can, according to them, track a guy down one state over that had a mask on, all this other stuff, and now they know without a doubt that's what that is. You mean to tell me that we got ships and things the size of an SUV flying around in the sky out there, and our federal government is shrugging its shoulders, acting like they have no clue? Let's not be so naive, folks. Why have they denied who this is? And more importantly, why are they letting them do this? Why haven't they done something about this? What are they setting up? What are they allowing to happen? Why are they allowing this to happen? What's the motive here? These are all questions that we should be asking our congresspersons. I implore everybody to please contact your local politicians, because this can be happening in way more places. When you embolden our enemies like this is doing right now, you don't think they're licking their chops right now, all the other countries and the other people in Iran out there? You don't think they're looking at this going, this was easy? We are emboldening our enemies. We have 40 days until Trump takes over. There's no way this would take place. And I truly believe this. I have my issues with Trump regarding the Second Amendment. But there's no way Donald Trump's administration would allow a bunch of SUV-sized drones to patrol overhead, unidentified, over neighborhoods and cities and communities with families and children in them, and shrug their shoulders and go, we don't know what it is. Somebody's lying to us, folks.
I don't understand the point that you're making.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. He's